very easy for people who are not in our circle to pass judgment because they have never experienced what my family been through. Does my addiction problems affect me alone? The answer is no. It affects the people around me.
Welcome to God People Say, a talk show where we provide a safe space for us to have healthy discourse on contentious topics often left unspoken. My name is Muna Bagharib and I will be your host for today. Now, in this episode, we will be delving into a very important issue. Are Singapore's drug-related laws effective in deterring offences, and is the death penalty for drug trafficking justified? Now, with me today are 5 individuals who have had past brushes with the law due to drug-related offences, and Damien, who is from Singapore Anti-Narcotics Association, who will be sharing his insights on Singapore's drug landscape. Now, we'll get to introductions first.
All right, hi, I'm Bruce. I am a recovering addict. I've been out of prison 7 years and 4 months and counting.
Hey, I'm actually Nat. I on my recovering journey for 5 years already.
Okay, hi, my name is Sufian. I'm a person in recovery from substance use disorder, and I've been clean for 12 years.
Good morning, my name is Simon and I'm a person in recovery for about 3 years.
Hi, I'm Nicholas and I'm being clean for 8 years.
So as Sana, I'm a counsellor. I work on addictions counselling for persons in recovery.
So I think everyone would like to know your story and how it began. So maybe you can share about why and how it started when you first got into it.
I come from a single parent family, and as such, my mum was out working all the time. 13, felt bored, went out to look for my peers, joined a triad, and then 3 months into it, they introduced me to marijuana. So I tried marijuana for the very first time, and you know what? I loved the high. And because I loved the high, that was the beginning of my problems that lasted 30 years.
My addiction maybe is because of my peer pressure, curiosity. I wanted to just, try, and then after that I got addicted.
Okay, as for me, I started use drug when I was in primary school, and mix around with friends, and I thought just give it a try. Just want to see how they get high, what. And I don't realize that by using this, it make me become addicted.
Nicholas, do you feel like it's something that you never thought you would be addicted to when you first tried it?
This guy that I really look up to, he's the one who introduced me to heroin. That time I just thought that I'm, like sick like that, normal fever and stuff. But then he tell me, habis liao, you suck it already. You sangkut already lah. So after that he passed me, then I go take, and after that I feel so much better. And that's when I know that now I'm depending on this heroin to carry on the rest of my time lah.
I left school at 16 and movies were showing a lot of drugs. Snorting cocaine, smoking weed. It looked so cool, and we were at the age of trying it out. So once I dive into it, and it makes me feel like since I already tried this drug, why not I just try every drug? And I was heavily addicted to methamphetamine. And that was when I feel a lot of self-condemning thoughts, and which leads me to suicidal thoughts. Yeah, that's how I also want to break out of it. Yeah.
Maybe you can share about how drug abuse affected your life.
To feed the addictions, you gotta break a lot of hearts, especially your family members. Because when you know money, you intend to be temperamental, you start to, keep on pestering your parents for money.
We only have one life to live. I'm turning 54, and I started drugs when I was 13. I delved into drugs, fell in love with it, and suffered its consequences for the next 30 years. But to think that I've wasted the best years of my life to drugs, to prison, and these years I cannot get them back anymore.
My life has been unmanageable. I lost a lot of things, especially relationship with family members, and trust. There's no more trust.
I also lost the focus of my aim in life. I didn't know how to plan my life out, so I don't have an education, which makes me hard to find a job that is stable, And I also lost 2 marriages due to my drug abuse. And I literally lost my dad when he was struggling with dementia and also like stroke. I went to hospital to visit him once, and I spent the rest of my time all taking drugs at home. This is one of my biggest regrets in life. Back then, I didn't have the capability to take care of him, and I also lost my daughter. So I feel that if you ask me what can drugs affect our life, I can tell you is literally every single thing. Not just yours, but also the people's life around us.
So what was that moment where you decided, okay, I'm going to turn over a new leaf?
I still remember when I was serving my sentence for 9 years. After 5 years, I think just to to change environment. Already already stand at the same place, same hall, see same faces every day, right?
Same food,
so,
same food.
same food. So that's why I thought, okay lah, I try to change. I remember that time one officer approached me and asked me, Sven, you never change. Make a small change also can. And I said, okay sir, if you want me to change, you recommend me for a student. I think that's my journey start. It's surprisingly that I passed my exam, even I score my max. I never had that highest score. Usually I will get 0 or 1 out of 100. End of the year, up the exam, I get 98 upon 100 for my max. And,
Really, 0 to 100?
That's why I realized, I'm not stupid, I still can study. That means I can do something about my life, right?
That's really interesting what you brought up, because when you see that you are capable, that's what motivates you. So is that what you see really helps someone change?
I believe so. Like in Sofian's case, he had just this one prison officer who challenged him to do a bit more. Sometimes it's very easy to get caught up in the flow of addiction that you start to lose confidence in yourself. It can be very lonely. And so I think sometimes all everybody needs is maybe just one person to believe in them or to challenge them. And that might make all the difference.
When I got released, right, I don't know, there's this feeling like I just got enough of all this. Then especially when I look into my mother, right? I mean, how many times do I have to break her heart? I only have her in this world. But I'm blessed that I do have the support from her. She never once give up on me. So I think one of my motivation is actually my mom.
I have a height phobia. So when I walk past all the high-rise building, used to, when my first thought came in, I feel that, wow, so high. But after when I attempted suicide by drinking bleach and all the poison drinks, right? After that incident, I walked past overhead bridge, all this. I looked down, not high at all, no.
You cured, cured of your phobia?
Yeah, because the suicidal thoughts was so much already, the height phobia became lesser, and I knew I needed help straight away. So I called my cell group, my church friend, and they asked me to go to a halfway house.
What are your opinions on the consequences currently put in place against those who consume drugs?
Drug addiction is a problem of the mind. That the person is not a criminal. He has an addiction problem that needs to be addressed. Let's say if I'm sick, I go and see a doctor. Doctor diagnosed me as I have a tummy ache, and he prescribed Panadol. Do you think it will work? It will cure me? Definitely not, right? So in order to help these people, give them the right prescription. Charging them under criminal law and treating them like criminals, I don't think this would help. And I'm very thankful that in the past few years, those that consume drugs, you get caught third, fourth, fifth, you still go to the DRC regime.
To me, it's like it's mentioned, law is law. Maybe there's a reason, maybe to keep Singapore safe, especially our family. Not because of us, it affects the whole family, the whole Singaporean, right? I think what Bruce said, there's an improvement in it, especially about the rehab.
Now, on the topic of consequences, and this is also open for the floor, what are your opinions on the death penalty for those who traffic large quantities of drugs?
When our government, or Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, started PAP, he had to have very strict laws in place so that Singapore can be what it is. And can you imagine a country with drug addicts or gangsters? You think people are going to invest in Singapore? No way they're going to do it. And I'm very grateful that the government is now diversifying their money into side of prisons to help people like us or my peers in their recovery journey.
Of course, implementing this death penalty, I don't think it's really up to one opinion or even 2 to 3 opinions to say, hey, this is right, this is wrong. But I think we really have to look from the perspective of for the country and from a bigger picture outside the box to see what is good for our next generation.
As ex-abusers, what do you think the effect would be if we removed the death penalty for drug traffickers?
But definitely our society will just drop lah. Because basically like drugs everywhere. There's no level of stopping the smuggling.
I think a lot of smugglers will send drugs to Singapore. like we know Singapore is a small country. When a lot of drugs come in, just imagine the population of Singapore who get involved in drugs.
It's very easy for people who are not in our circle to pass judgment because they have never experienced what my family been through. Does my addiction problems affect me alone? The answer is no. It affects the people around me, especially my immediate family. That was my mom. Being her child, she had dreams of grandeur for me. I believe every parent have that. For most of her life, I lied to her, I stole from her. Once in the 90s, she had breast cancer. She was hospitalized for it. She actually discharged herself just to come and visit me for that 20 minutes. All right? It's past 7 years that I've been out. I guess are the only 7 years of my mom had of having a son back. I'm very happy that at least she had 7 years of me. Do I hate the person? No, I don't. But I do hate what drugs has caused us. So am I against it? Damn right I'm against it.
You are doing great, Brother Bruce. We are all proud of you. And you have set a good example for a lot of us.
Based on your experience, has there been any changes in trend for drug abusers or drug consumption pattern in Singapore over the last 10 years?
Previously, you would have a lot of people, mainly from the lower income or lower education, or from disjointed family groups. The authorities had announced, based on the IMH Health and Lifestyle Survey, recently to say that actually the average age of people taking up drugs is getting younger.
So there actually have also been calls to legalize so-called softer drugs, for example, cannabis, in Singapore. So in your opinion, what are the potential consequences of legalizing certain drugs in Singapore?
I think legalizing these drugs is a challenge. I think a lot of it comes from people believing that these drugs don't have as hard of an impact as the so-called harder drug. Like for example, cannabis, you said. Cannabis has been shown to mental health disorders, psychotic illnesses. So I don't think it's that straightforward.
I think this is pretty important and it should come from all of you who have been sharing your stories. What would you say to dissuade people from consuming drugs?
Personally, I think that addiction started because of curiosity and stuff. There's a better way to soothe yourself or to solve the problem that you have rather than any other addictions. And if you're not careful, this life is gone already. And you also must think about those people around you. You are just like an infectious toxic. Wherever you go, everybody is affected.
The consequences that you are going to pay is not just during that moment, but for the rest of your life. The people that you lose, the education that you lost, the career that you are missing out in life. If you are going to start your life at the age of our age, 30, 40, 50, it is okay, but you're going to lose out so many things. And to be honest, taking drugs is not cool at all. But taking care of your family is much more cooler. So I really want to have a shout out to all the youth there. If it's good, I'm going to tell you if it's good. But taking drugs is really going to destroy and kill everyone, including yourself and your family. So say no to drugs.
Those who have not used drugs, for me it's simple. There's a song in Hotel California, a lyric song. He said you can check in anytime you like, we can never leave. So if you're involved in drugs, you can stop, but hard for you to quit when you get hooked. We have shared just now how we struggle, right? That's why I say we don't need drugs to be happy, don't need drugs to be someone. We don't need drugs to be successful. Even we can just be ourselves. take out the mask, just be yourself. And for those who are still struggling, let hope, not hurt, shape our future.
Drug is just temporary. At the end of the day, we'll just get addicted. But we are over here all is because we care. And we don't want the youth to be like us. Like whatever that we went through, all the heartbreaks, all the pains. I would advise to the youth, like, think about the consequences.
Those teenagers out there who are curious about drugs and the effect of drugs, everyone that I've met in prison who is serving a sentence for drugs or drug-related offenses, all of them, all started out this way. I just want to try drugs, see how. No, I'm not going to get addicted to it. I just want to try, see how it's like. Then I know the higher that I stopped. People always think that they can win the battle with drugs. But the truth is, you always lose. You always lose.
All right, thank you so much, everyone, for being so open and honest with sharing your story and just having a conversation and creating this safe space. So I want to know, lastly, before I let you all go, what are you guys up to these days?
I'm in media, social media, creating content, trying to earn some money, kind of thingy. Yep. But I'm more into volunteer work. I love my volunteer work. That is my life's mission.
I do have a full-time job now, and I'm also a peer leader in Sana. I'm going for some mentoring courses to help the youth.
Okay, as for me, I'm working at NEMS as a peer support specialist. I thought I'll continue my study, further my study, because in recovery, what I learned is that never stop learning because life never stop teaching. That's what I learned.
You want to get 100 for maths, right? I want to get 100. 98, not happy. You want to get 100.
Okay, that's for me.
Thank you, that's inspiring. Simon?
For me, I'm doing content, and I just recently started my own production. Can I shout out?
Ciao lah.
Peace
could be
Street
here.
Production. So I'm mainly doing skits and stuff, but I also hope to move into a segment where I can give back to society. And I'm also a Sana peer leader, and I also, yes, correct. Then I'm a full-time son. I want to take good care of my mother, and of course live life without regrets anymore lah. Oh, okay.
I have a full-time job, and I do own my own company under a design industry. And also on my free time, if I can, I do a bit of volunteer.
That's wonderful, that's lovely. Thank you so much for sharing, and thank you again for joining us.
I want to know what Muna is doing also. So, it's a manners for the host. We would love to know So Muna, may I know what are you doing currently?
I'm hosting this series on AsiaOne.
After this, okay. I have no more question.
Suddenly on the spot, I cannot answer. I'm the one asking the questions here. All right, but then again, thank you very much. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Got People Say. And thank you all for joining us and watching this insightful discussion about drug-related offences in Singapore. We've of course heard different perspectives, spoken candidly about their experiences, and discussed the effectiveness of death penalty for drug-related offences. Now, in today's day and age where information and misinformation are gathered so easily from online platforms, it's always important to hear opinions from different sides of the story, as we've done today. So I hope this episode has helped you shape your thoughts on the issues at hand and help you form your own opinion on this very conflicting conversation. Now, what do you think? Is the death penalty for drug trafficking justified for the betterment of the community? Let us know, and stay tuned for the next episode of Got People Say. Bye, guys.
Bye.